Yeah, we're good, except for Shelby, who we can't let her. So we'll have Coach Gaines will speak first, and then Eric Grintz will follow him. Okay.
Hey guys, how y'all doing?
Good, Coach. How about you?
Doing fantastic. Fantastic. Hope y'all enjoyed that as much as we did.
I guess just Coach, we'll just go. You guys go out there today and just talk on the pitching end. I mean, 8 guys to be able to kind of put together that effort. You guys have talked a lot about just the depth that you guys have and your ability that you guys feel like just piece things together on a Sunday. I mean, just how much of that is just kind of an evolution just you guys have had since last season?
Yeah, it's something we've really tried to do a good job of preparing our guys to do. You know, we try to match them up in the preseason, and we figure at some point we're gonna have to do it just like we had to do it today. You know, I can't believe I didn't even realize it was that many guys, but you know, we tried to get through parts of the lineup with different guys that we thought matched up really well. And, you know, credit to those guys, they got the job done. And especially some of them on short rest, you know, Mott and Gillian and, you know, Bovair, he threw 74 pitches on 4 days rest. So, and then Palermo again, O'Brien again, you know, it was impressive to see those guys do those things. And, you know, quite honestly, though, I wasn't surprised to see them do it. I was more happy for them just to prove they could actually do it in a game when it really mattered.
Your team trailed 1-0, 2-0, and 3-0 today, and was able to find the win 4-3, and then also trailed 2-0 and 3-2 on Friday. Obviously, the bats and the runs weren't there that maybe we've seen in some of the games, but still finding ways to win. Just what did you see out of your guys to be able to do that, especially to get the sweep today on Sunday?
Well, I think a lot of credit has to go to Coastal. You know, they threw some good arms at us. That Saturday guy was really good. The Friday guy, he pitched as good as we'd seen him pitch. And then that guy again today, he was mixing enough to really try to keep us off balance. And, you know, I knew if we kept it close, we were going to be able to outlast them at some point and get a big hit. And that's really what we did. If we can keep it close on the mound, I trust that our offense is going to be able to get it done. And, you know, we had a lot of really big 2-out RBIs, and you know, that's the make of a good team when you can get those runs in when they matter and you have 2 quick outs to start the inning. So I was glad we were able to keep it close, and, you know, we're going to be having to do that a lot more, especially once we get into ACC play.
Coach, we've obviously saw Hunter Stokely have a big time week this week. Just from your perspective, just what sort of strides have you really seen him make since the end of last year?
Well, I think one of the biggest things that he does is, you know, he's the same guy every day when he comes to the ballpark. He's got a great attitude when he hadn't been playing as much as I'm sure he wants to. And he's done some things over the course of the preseason that, you know, we were really excited about. We just wanted to make sure we had an opportunity for you to use him in the right way. And he's a tough guy to pitch to because he's got a good swing. He stays on a lot of pitches, and you know, he trusts what Coach Weirs tells him in different situations to look for different things. And, you know, he did that yesterday. He did it again today. And he's one of those guys, I don't think he has much of a heartbeat when he gets in the box. You know, his heart slows down rather than speeds up in those moments. And that's what you need in games like this. You got to have somebody get us going, you know, just like that. And I'm really, really proud of him. I know the rest of the coaches are too, because he stayed with it. And, you know, he really deserves to be rewarded the way that he has been. Once
Coach Forbes was ejected there, what was the talk with the team? Was it kind of just like a rallying message, or what was that one? Because it's the first time he's been ejected since he's become head coach.
You want me to give you the politically correct answer, or you want me to give you the how I really felt?
How you really felt, of course.
Like, hell yeah, man. Get to run this thing, you know, and we, you know, I knew at some point it was coming, and I was hoping at some point that it was going to be in a close game like it was. And it was fun just to be on that side of it where, you know, I'm not just thinking about pitching, and Coach Weirs is coaching third, and we're having to make these decisions. And credit to our guys, they stayed with it. And I felt like they knew they were going to win the whole time. And as long as us coaches didn't screw it up, I knew our players were going to be able to get it done. So it was a whole lot of fun for all of us.
Coach, kind of going off that a little bit. That play there in the eighth, I mean, it's kind of hard to tell, like, what was kind of the feedback you got from the umpires? What was the official ruling that they gave you? And just kind of what was your entire perspective on that play?
You talking about the play of the plate where they called him out on the throw from Angel? Yeah, so they said it was obstruction. They said Frick obstructed him from being able to get to the plate, which I don't necessarily agree with because the throw was coming in and Frick wasn't blocking the plate. He just went up the line to go get the ball. So, that's why they made that decision. And, honestly, I like I said, I don't really agree with it. I know Coach Forbes certainly doesn't agree with it, but it's one of those calls that I felt like could have gone our way and more honestly should have gone our way. So, it was good to be able to move past it though, because obviously that's a huge change of emotion, from one play to the next pitch. So it was good to be able to, excuse me, it was good to be able to move past it and obviously continue to get it done.
And go ahead, Shelly.
Oh, thank you. I wanted to ask about Osuna really quick. Now, this is somebody that has come in this year as a transfer, was initially hitting a lot of singles, but recently he's been hitting for much more power. I mean, the home run today, the 2 doubles over the course of the series. What do you like that you've been seeing from him recently, and what adjustments has he made that have allowed him to hit for more power recently?
Well, I think we knew that the power was going to come. I think it was a matter of time with Bert, just because he's a much better hitter than I think a lot of people give him credit for based on looking at him. You look at him and you think, okay, well, he's going to swing and miss at a lot of breaking balls. He's going to chase balls up in the zone. And, each week it seems like he's getting a little bit more disciplined and being able to see the ball better, understand situational hitting. And, now those singles and doubles are starting to turn into some jacks. I mean, that ball he hit today, that was into the teeth of the wind at dead center field, which is, it's hard to hit it out there. So if we can continue to get him going like he's capable of doing, it's going to do nothing but open us up offensively.
Take one more for Coach Gaines.
With PB House, couple games now where he's kind of only gone about 3 innings or so. Is it moving forward? Do you see it maybe changing up the Sunday role at all, or is it PB House kind of going to be used in that openers role more to give you guys 2 to 3 innings, then go to the bullpen, or do you see him being able to lengthen starts out more?
That's what we had told Shadden is you got to go out there and basically treat it like you're closing. If we get some length out of him, hey, that's great. But for us, with the depth that we have in our bullpen, especially if our first 2 starters give us a little bit of length, it gives us some flexibility on that Sunday to be able to go to a Sean Rapp with 2 outs in the 3rd inning against the matchup that we felt like we needed to go in. And, he's done exceptionally well, especially considering he's starting at this level for the first time. But, I tell him every week, I let him know every week who's starting in what role. So things may or may not change. I think a lot of it will depend on what happens over the next 2 days, just because, again, we've got 5 games in a week. So who knows? We may use everybody over these next 2 weeks. And with his shortened pitch count, having only been at 38 pitches, there's a good chance we could use him again in one of those 2 days in some capacity.
Thank you, Coach.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
You guys, have a good one.
Thank you, Coach.
What's going on, Eric? Congrats.
Good going, guys. Thank you.
I guess just if you can, I mean, that at bat there, you go down 0-2, just kind of take us through just what you saw throughout the entire bat and just on that pitch you end up getting the hit on.
I mean, this game is so pitch to pitch. So it's really, I was just really trying to calm myself down. That was the biggest thing. I know I kind of went down the 0-2 hole really quick, but, I think the biggest thing is we stick to, our offensive kind of approaches. We stick to our routine. And I think that was the big thing I was focusing on. I mean, I had a feeling they were going to walk Angel there, and I was really just focusing on my routine, trying to slow myself down. The big thing we talked about too is hard work. If you work hard, you'll be more confident. So I think I was ready to go there. I was really excited to get that opportunity, and, credit to my teammates that were able to, put a couple of good at bats together and, give me a shot to walk it off at the end there.
With the hard work you mentioned there, how much does it play a role in being able to come back down 1-0, 2-0, 3-0, down 2-0 on Friday, 3-2, and just get 3 wins, considering you guys faced that many deficits?
I mean, it just shows how resilient our team is. I mean, that's a big thing. I think our culture is so good and so kind of it's based on that hard work that, we don't get caught up in, the failures of this game. We kind of, if we're down, we get punched in the mouth, we're ready to punch back. I think the biggest thing too is we just try to keep like, a steady heartbeat during that time. It doesn't matter kind of what the game's going, we just kind of play it how it is. I mean, the big thing we've been talking about these last couple of days is playing the full 27 outs. So, I mean, these last, Friday we walk it off, today we walk it off, just shows you got to play a full game. So I think that big thing is it's never over till you kind of record that last out.
Eric, kind of going off that a little bit, a year ago, you guys were 0-25, I believe, when trailing after 6. And so far this year, I mean, that resiliency is something you guys have obviously shown in several instances. How much, what do you kind of, when you put your finger on it, like what is it exactly about this team that kind of allows it, to kind of change the trajectory from what it did a year ago in that regard?
Yeah, no, I think with every year, you get guys that get older. So I think the more experienced guys have, the more confidence they get. So I think that's the biggest thing this year. And I think we just created such a good culture in this team. And, as I said, just really based on that hard work, a combination of, the old guys and the guys that have been there, the new guys kind of all coming together to form that really tight-knit group has really kind of helped us, especially, in these games where we've been down and stuff.
When you mentioned there how they walked Angel to put the bases loaded, in a sense, I mean, being a competitor, I mean, how much of an edge does that kind of give you a little bit?
I was excited. I mean, when I hit that foul ball down the right field line, I kind of looked back in the dugout and gave Coach Gaines a big smile, and he gave me a fist bump because, I was super confident in myself there. I know I trusted, all my preparation, all my hard work that, I was going to able to, if the guy gave me a pitch to hit, I was going to, put a good swing on it. And, sure enough, I was lucky to do that.
What was it like when Coach Forbes got ejected and for the first time since he's been the head coach?
I think Coach Gaines kind of hinted to it. He was like, hell yeah, like, cause it fired us all up, but, it kind of brought us back, that confidence. I think we were excited there, and, we trusted in our coaching staff and, our players that we would get the job done today.
Eric, I guess, I mean, being a catcher, I mean, kind of what was your read on that play?
On
the throw home?
I mean, it's such a hard play. I mean, people see it from all different angles, all different, I think that was definitely a game-changing play, and I think it was definitely obstruction was the wrong call there. I mean, I think Frick was just trying to make a play on that ball, but that happens in these games. You just got to move on quick. So I think that's the biggest thing. I think we kind of that play happened and we moved on, which was, I think that really allowed us to ultimately win this game today.
Eric, you obviously, your freshman year, you came in and were playing a lot. Tomas coming in, some opportunities, maybe limited here and there. How have you still been able to continue just to buy in and just kind of really just take on whatever role you're kind of asked of?
I mean, it's a credit to my teammates. I mean, I love these guys. Like, they're awesome. They, I have such good relationships with them. I mean, and just being a competitor too. I think, things happen. You just got to kind of respond to them. I think I'm a really competitive guy, and I'm always ready for my opportunity when it comes.
One more for Eric.
I guess just we've seen a big week here for the big guy, Hunter Stokely. I guess just as you were kind of watching him over the offseason, just kind of what sort of strides did you really see him making?
I mean, definitely maturity. I think, getting some experience is huge. But the great thing about Stoke is he's got an unreal sense of humor. He's the same guy when he walks in the stadium every day. I think he just brings kind of that kind of looseness to this team, and it's contagious. And guys love him, and I think credit to him. I mean, it just shows how hard the kid works. How he just buys into everything, and just shows how great of a player he is.
Hey, Jody, can I just do one quick one real quick? Eric, when's the last time you had a walk-off hit?
Gosh, I can't even remember, honestly. I really don't remember, but.
All right, thanks.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Eric.
Thanks, Eric.
Thank you.
Hey, how are y'all?
Hey, Alberto. I guess just if you can, I mean, obviously emotions running pretty high there, coming in between the top of the eighth and the bottom of the eighth. Just how were you able to kind of, just stay calm and just kind of take that approach into that home run at bat?
I'd say probably my routine. I like just trusting it. Coach Forward and Coach Wheeler really been harping on just keeping my routine, and that's going to keep me loose. And so as a DH, like I figured out a routine that works for me in the dugout. I just kind of kept through that. So I mean, all I focused on was my at bat.
Hey, congrats on the win. A more personal question, sort of going back to actually your series against ECU. So I was told that before your Friday matchup against ECU, which you started off with a homer in the second, your old coach at Walters State called up Forbes. Is that correct? And could you tell me a little bit more about that and sort of what he said?
If I'm being honest, I didn't really know he called him. I know he told me one day I kept on hitting singles. And he said, tell Osuna he's not a singles hitter, that he needs to figure it out. But honestly, I don't know if that was before or after. I can't remember right now.
Yeah. When that happened, how did you react? Did that sort of fire you up going into these past two series?
The comment?
The comment, yeah, from your former coach.
I mean, it made me laugh because me knowing my old coach, I could just imagine him saying it in a big Southern voice. And I mean, honestly, I don't really think. I try not to think about hitting homers because usually when I think about it, they're just not going to happen. So just kind of just staying calm and just letting it happen. Really.
Alberto, what is that routine as a DH?
Usually, so I usually do it when I'm either first, second, third, or fourth up in the inning. And it's just like with every out, like it's something new. So I'll put on my batting gloves with one out, with two outs, like put on my helmet, like have my bat, always have my bat ready. And then once third, I'm ready to go.
So, sorry, go ahead. So would you say that you haven't really made an adjustment recently? It's just been more of a like getting relaxed, getting into routine, and then the power just comes.
I mean, I'd say I've been having to make adjustments to my approach, like making sure my approach is better. But I think that comes with like being relaxed as well, making sure I'm on time and all that. Mechanically, I haven't really made an adjustment. It's just being more confident in myself.
Alberto, to be able to have the opportunity you had today to be able to tie this game up late and for you guys to be able to pull this one off, just such a dramatic win to pull off, a big time series sweep for this team. How much of this is something that, I mean, really just kind of the prospect of being able to do something like that was part of your decision to come here in the first place?
Well, I mean, like when Coach Forbes called me and Coach Weersbig recruited me, like I just knew the culture here was so strong looking from the outside. And them calling me just fired me up. I knew they wanted to win. And I mean, here we are. This is a reason why we all come here. I think all four of us transferred. Like we just come here to win. Like all we want to do is win Omaha, and that's why they brought us in.
What was your perspective there on Grintz's walk-off? What'd you see?
I mean, it was awesome. I knew I had a full confidence in Grintz because of how hard of a worker he is, and I think that's everybody on the team. I mean, this team just works so hard. I think I said that last time, and anyone that goes up, I know we all have a chance. It's just I think we all together have confidence in each other, and it's just sticking with it.
Yeah, and you sort of said in the past that this team has an almost JUCO vibe and everyone plays with a chip on their shoulder. And I mean, with two big walk-off wins in this series, could you just talk a little bit about that team atmosphere and that grit?
I mean, it's huge. I mean, we all stick together. I mean, like this week we were down, two out of the three games, and we can find ways to win. And it's one guy here, one guy there, and I think like we all just have created that confidence and that will to win that we just keep on having.
Anybody else for Alberto?
Yeah, a really quick follow-up question. I noticed most times you cross the plate, the first thing that you do is point to the batter who drove you in. You'll kind of like point to first if a guy singled and drove you in. Could you tell me a little bit about that?
I was just kind of like pointing at him, like telling him like good job. When I got here Coach Forbes told us like if someone makes a good play and stuff, like to point at them. And I think hitting, like I think we just kind of incorporated that too. And we make sure to give them the credit.
Anybody else?
I'll get over here.
All good.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Alberto.
Alberto.
Congratulations.
Oh, thank you.